So that morning, I woke up and I followed the same regular routine that I did every time that I had a speaking event. Went to the rehearsal and I met Sarah Bordeaux, who directed the whole thing. I met Alexis Jones, who I had been on Skype with at the time, planning out what I was going to say. The next morning was December 5th, and it was the day that I was getting ready to go to the event. And I knew the dress I had picked out. I knew I was going to be cold in it, but I knew it was really cute. And I wore this black and white dress, curled my hair. At the time, these were really cool, but I will put on my Tom's shoes, and they were kids, and they were sparkles, so they black sparkle. And we get there, and it's so decorated, so cute, and it's a room just full of women. And they had all of these pillows and blankets on the floor right in front of the stage for a bunch of girls that they had bussed in from different schools. I was scheduled to go on in sort of the midday lunchtime area, and Sarah had came up to me and she was kneeling down next to me and asking if I needed anything, and she basically just said, would you mind if we moved your spot to be the closing speaker of the day? Which for me was no problem at all. By that point in the day, I was so inspired by all of the people that were speaking and just sort of like ready. I was ready to get on that stage. And we had planned everything out. Like I said, I had worked with Alexis to sort of have like a detailed outline of what I was going to say. But I am a firm believer when you are standing in your truth and you are speaking about something that is so vulnerable and powerful and meaningful to you, when you open up your mouth, the right words are going to come out. Right before it was time for me to go on, and so I'm going up with this mindset of like, I don't know, I feel like whatever we planned, I'm not going to say it because I just trust in myself. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I trust in myself right now that I'm going to say something different, but it's going to be good, don't worry. And so the lights went dim. Alexis was holding my hand next to me, as she always does now, and I sort of just whispered to her that I was going to change everything that we had planned, and she was supposed to be going on stage to introduce me. So the lights went dim, I'm waiting, and then all of a sudden, I hear a voice that sounds very familiar saying my name.
Hello, I'm America Ferreira, and I'm so sorry to not be there in person, but I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity to introduce to you a very special person.
That was definitely a really, really cool surprise. I had no idea that America was going to be introducing me, and so I just started talking. I've made this rule for myself from a long, long time ago that I will always be the exact same person. If we're hanging out in my room and we're just talking, I will be the exact same person on national television or on a stage in front of hundreds of people. I will always be Lizzie. There's no turning it on or turning it off because I don't have the energy to be someone that I'm not, or to be a certain person that I think other people want me to be. I'm only good at being me. I do my whole speech and I realize I'm getting to the very end of it, and right when I start saying my closing line, the words come out. I want to end with asking you again. I want you to leave here and ask yourself what defines you. But remember, brave starts here. Thank you. And everyone started clapping, and in my mind, I just thought like, yes, I did it. Like, it landed. I knew it was going to land, and it worked, and I ended it how I wanted to end it, and I felt so good in that moment about everything that I had just said. I don't know where it came from, but it all sort of came out how it was supposed to come out. And like 2 weeks later, my speech was posted, and it went viral, and my life never looked the same after that. I went from going viral online for being the ugliest woman in the world, and then I went viral for being the girl that must eat every 15 minutes or she'll die. Don't even get me started on that one. But now I was going viral as a speaker, as someone who was being brave and reminding other people to like be themselves. And Oh my gosh, that feeling, I don't think I'll ever be able to describe the joy in that. More so in the fact that I didn't feel like, okay, now I need to get back online and start defending myself. It wasn't that at all. Sarah, who I mentioned before, who was the director of the whole event, she and I had been talking, and I was telling her everything that was going on, and we were just like so amazed at it all. And she asked to take me to lunch, and we went to lunch for like 2 hours, and I just told her everything that was going on, everything that I want to accomplish. And a few days later, she called me and basically said, I have this incredible team of women that I work with, and I want them to be able to help you as well. But I also want to do a documentary about your life. And we sort of just hit the ground running, and it was nonstop after that, doing a Kickstarter, raising money, speaking all over the place. But all of that happened because of one speech that I did. Got to my head. I allowed it to get to my head because I started not allowing my full potential as a speaker to show, because I kept thinking, how am I ever going to outdo my TED Talk? I think that was one of the biggest lessons I think that I had to learn during that time, was not allowing myself to think that just because I did one thing really well doesn't mean I won't be able to do anything else a little bit better than the last time. Looking back at the last 10 years, I am not the same Lizzie that woke up that morning on December 5th and put on a black and white dress, went up on stage and spoke. I had the chance to work with women of all ages and just be a sponge and soak up all that they did. That the size of my body doesn't define the volume of my voice. All the people that I worked with, I told from the very beginning that I am not the main character in my own story. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not. I am who I am because of the people in my life. They are the building blocks of me. They are my foundation. When I go out and tell my story, these people aren't background actors, and I'm not the star. I'm able to grow with you. I'm able to be vulnerable. I mean, I've gone through depression and anxiety and major life things over the past few years, just like all of you. A lot of you discovered me from my TED Talk, and you've been following me for 10 years or maybe even longer. Don't ever let the praise and the victory of one accomplishment diminish the potential of being even greater, because you can sit in that moment and cherish what you've learned and what it was, but as long as you keep pushing forward and you say, I have that sort of a part of me, but now what can I do? Oh my goodness, the doors you can open, the mountains you can climb, the lives you can change, because you've proven to yourself that you've already done it once, will be amazing. I love you guys.